Fine, I guess I'll use Divine Demon. What's the worst that could happen? You can't trust anybody, not even yourself. Fei Wangfang, the Toad, was a one-of-a-kind purgatory gladiator. As a man manipulated by Tokita Nikko, Fei was taught to be the infamous Tiger Vessel. But alas, his ambition never grew into fruition. Nevertheless, Fei Wangfang hid his true strength until the 12th round of the Kengen vs Purgatory tournament, giving Wakatsuki Takeshi, the symbol of the Kengen Association, the most miserable match of his life. So, should Fei Wangfang be granted the majesty of a tiger, or should we let bygones be bygones and call him out for what he really is, a slimy toad? Let's find out. Absolutely nothing is known about Fei Wangfang's formative years. However, he was born in China and participated in Tokita Nikko's Gu rituals, taking inspiration from an ancient practice that involves the cannibalization of centipedes. The Gu ritual is a chaotic trial in which combatants are sealed away from the outside world and forced to kill each other until only the strongest fighter remains. Alongside Kano Ajito and Lu Tian, Fei Wangfang survived a Gu ritual. But unlike those two, Fei Wangfang joined 49 other survivors and were bestowed both the Possessing Spirit and the Fallen Demon. These secret techniques of the Nikko style enable human beings to surpass their limitations and obtain power akin to gods and demons. However, these techniques come with a heavy price that fighters pay with their life or their sanity. Therefore, few amongst even the cream of the crop could withstand it. However, 3 among them surpassed the norm. These talented 3 were Longmin, he got off-screened by Fei, Ranzo, who assaulted a heavily wounded amnesiac and lost, and finally Fei Wangfang, who died in his first on-screen match. Jokes aside, unlike the 2 failures listed above, Fei Wangfang had access to an extraordinary output of both Possessing Spirit and Fallen Demon. Fei's high tolerance to both techniques gave him access to Divine Demon. Although the technique possesses a more life-threatening strain on the body, the power and perception provided by such a potent technique surpasses mere imitation of divine and demonic beings and enters its own domain. Now that he was the final student remaining, Fei Wangfang was poised for the position of the esteemed Tiger's Vessel. According to Fei Wangfang himself, the Tiger's Vessel is a user of the Nikko style who was deemed strong enough to receive Tokita Nikko's final techniques and knowledge. Whatever that could be. Although Fei was very interested in his master's final lesson, he was a member of the Worm organization, and they were preparing to infiltrate an underground fighting promotion called Purgatory. Alongside the likes of Lu Tian and Naidan Monkbot, Fei Wangfang was sent to infiltrate the organization and invade the A-list division while maintaining a low profile. While Lu Tian sealed away his formless style for a Chinese martial art, and Naidan Monkbot fulfilled the niche of a wrestler, Fei Wangfang advertised himself as a practitioner of Tai Chi. Regardless, with an appearance like this, Fei Wangfang was guaranteed to become popular. Aside from his showmanship, he forged brief friendships with the likes of Liu Dongqing, Nicholas Leibanner, and Naidan Monkbot. Considering that Fei Wangfang was from China, he was a member of the 3 Demon Fists. A group popularized by Purgatory's audience, the 3 Demon Fists is a group of the 3 strongest Chinese martial artists in Purgatory. This group included the Centipede Lu Tian, the Serpent Liu Dongqing, and the Toad, Fei Wangfang. Due to his performance as an A-list gladiator, Fei Wangfang was chosen to represent Purgatory in their tournament against the Kengen Association. However, before even the first match of the tournament, Fei Wangfang had ulterior motives. In order to become the next Tiger's Vessel, Fei Wangfang was instructed to reveal himself and defeat one of the top combatants of the Kengen Association. Therefore, in the penultimate round of the Kengen vs. Purgatory tournament, Fei Wangfang sent himself out against the symbol of the Kengen Association, Wakatsuki Takeshi. In a match that saw the physically strongest man in the Kengen Association overpowered with nothing but raw power and reflexes, the only way to satisfy the fans was to end it in a draw. Although Wakatsuki was lucky enough to continue living, Fei Wangfang suffered the price of overstepping his godhood. Nevertheless, his last action as a human was to congratulate Tokita Oma for being the last man standing. However, after inspecting Oma on a deeper level, Fei realized something. The Gu rituals, the Nico style, the Tiger's Vessel, Purgatory, and his friends. It was all sacrificed to an empty title that he had no business attaining. In his final moment as Tokita Nico's student, he cursed his master for wasting his life. This is, unfortunately, where Fei Wangfang's tenure in the story ends. Now to strengths and weaknesses. Initially developed by Gao Mukaku and Shimochi Kazufumi, the Nico style was designed to help the Tokita Nikos survive the turbulent and unpredictable environment of the inside. So at its core, the Nico style emphasizes survivability and adaptation above all else. The martial art facilitates this goal by introducing a system of 4 katas, each specialized in particular skills that do not take precedence over each other. As a master of the Nico style, Fei Wangfang is well versed in the adamantine, the flame, the redirection, and the water katas. The adamantine kata involves the tightening of muscles for both offensive and defensive purposes. Fei hasn't displayed the adamantine's premier defensive technique, Indestructible, nor its ultimate technique. However, he has displayed adamantine's offensive capabilities through Ironbreaker techniques, including a new variation called Ironbreaker Chain. Fei has also used flashing steel techniques, which incorporates the speed of the flame kata alongside flying axe kick, an adamantine-infused heel kick thrown after using techniques from the flame kata. The flame kata involves principles and techniques centered around movement and footwork. These techniques enable Nico-style practitioners to maintain balance, close distance, and create additional momentum for strikes. Fei hasn't displayed the sidestepping technique Phantom Pace, nor its ultimate technique. However, Fei has performed Flash Fire, a form of footwork that confuses opponents, and Raging Fire, a prerequisite technique to flashing steel, which involves fast linear movement. In addition, Fei possesses a striking technique called Obliteration, which incorporates elements from the flame kata along with elements from the water kata. It was notably used to force Wakatsuki to utilize the 10-second knockdown system. The water kata involves grappling principles alongside fluid motions and flexibility only attainable when becoming like water. Fei Wangfang hasn't displayed many of the submission or locking techniques present within the Nico style, nor its ultimate technique. Rather, Fei Wangfang uses the fluidity of the water kata to disperse oncoming damage. In tandem with elements from the redirection, Fei Wangfang is capable of dispersing large amounts of power from the likes of Wakatsuki. However, this can only be done because Fei possesses a unique affinity for the water kata. His other techniques include Dancing Serpent, a technique which enables him to dodge and disperse strikes. It was used to dodge Wakatsuki's Blast Core, albeit imperfectly. This is evidenced by Yamashita Kazuo's statement. Fei's only locking technique includes Binding Demon, which incorporates the manipulation of power from the redirection kata and involves locking up both of the opponent's arms while initiating a chokehold. The redirection kata involves soft techniques which use an opponent's power against them and delicate motions which alter the course of an attack. Fei hasn't used the primary redirection technique in Flowing Edge, its primary offensive move in Entanglement, nor its ultimate technique. However, Fei makes great use of Weeping Willow, a generic sweeping technique which enables the user to redirect blows and throw their opponent. Fei's other redirection technique includes Binding Demon, which is initiated by compromising an opponent's arm with a finger lock and then transitioning into a submission. Fei's Nico style is very different from the traditional Nico style because of Fei's broad defensive application and his greater than average skill at the water kata. However, Fei's primary defensive technique can be overcome by opponents strong enough to resist the redirection kata and by fighters well versed in close range combat, because their techniques are less likely to be dampened by the water kata. Although Fei's mastery cannot be fully examined because his life was cut short, he most likely has access to the ultimate techniques of each kata and other techniques present within the traditional Nico style. Otherwise, he would have never been considered a candidate for the Tiger's Vessel. Now, let's move on to the technique that truly differentiates his Nico style from the rest. Divine Demon is a technique which incorporates both the Possessing Spirit, a technique which indirectly increases power by increasing the capacity of the heart, and Fallen Demon, a technique which increases the movement of sensory information. This acme of the secret techniques offer the user increased power and reflexes in exchange for a burden on both the heart and the brain. However, Fei Wangfang is able to handle the pressure to a degree, and possesses a higher proficiency with both techniques. Therefore, the power and perception of his Divine Demon surpasses the Curry Clan's Removal, Oma's Advance, and Kiryu Satsuna's Fallen Demon. Furthermore, Fei's Divine Demon enable him to shut down most of Wakatsuki's striking attempts, while launching him in the opposite direction, indicating that his attack potency is sufficient enough to significantly damage some of the strongest characters in the Kengen Association. Now, on to weaknesses. If Fei Wangfang uses it too much, he will literally die. Don't take my word for it, just ask Fei. However, on a more analytical note, the Divine Demon increases power at the cost of weakening techniques. For example, the redirection kata is unusable because the user is no longer capable of performing delicate motions on account of increased blood pressure. Furthermore, the adamantine kata becomes more life-threatening because increased rigidity would sharply contrast with the increased flow of blood, creating a situation where the user's blood vessels have the potential to rupture. Other than that, the flame kata is relatively unaffected, and the water kata in all likelihood would benefit the most because increased looseness would provide a better medium for blood flow. Although his techniques and power are both on a high level, Fei Wangfang is not at the level where he can determine his opponent's next move and react ahead of them. Therefore, opponents who have reached that level have a very distinct advantage. However, a matchup simply cannot be cut down to, for example, Oma has pre-initiative, therefore he defeats Fei. Although there exists lots of merits to that conclusion, pre-initiative only becomes unstoppable when the user can react to their prediction faster than the opponent can strike. Although I will not question Oma's ability to counter Fei, speed will play a major role in determining matchups where pre-initiative plays a substantial role. Although this really only applies to 2, maybe 3 characters, Fei Wangfang doesn't possess any formless techniques. This is an issue because the only way to overcome the formless is to be ridiculously fast or possess an equally formless technique like Demon's Bane. Therefore, outside of a technique like Divine Demon, Fei's Nico style will fare poorly against formlessness. Fei Wangfang can unleash great power with the Nico style and the Divine Demon. Yet, on a technical basis, he can still be bested. Let's discuss his matchups. My video on this lad is very outdated. In this matchup, Carlos, with his vastly superior speed and pre-initiative, can quite easily overcome Fei's Nico style. One of the ways to overcome pre-initiative is to strike before the user can react to their prediction. In the case with Carlos, this means that fighters need to have speed equivalent to or superior to Gaolang. Although Fei is fast enough to overwhelm the likes of Wakatsuki, Wakatsuki himself boasts dubious levels of speed. So in base, Fei Wangfang, even with techniques like Flashing Steel and Raging Fire, shouldn't be able to touch someone like Carlos. However, Fei can overturn both Carlos's speed and pre-initiative with Divine Demon. This transformation offers speed superior to fully advanced Oma, and by extension, Kuririn. Although a proper scale cannot be constructed, that is still very fast, probably sufficient enough to overcome Carlos's pre-initiative. Furthermore, Fei's reflexes are also superior to Setsuna's Fallen Demon, which enables the user to see in slow motion. This would most certainly help out against Carlos's speed. Therefore, Divine Demon is a massive middle finger to the boxing legend. Fei Wangfang wins. In this matchup, Fei can exploit Falcon's ninjutsu by blitzing him with Flashing Steel or implementing Rihito's brute force strategy. After surviving Falcon's magic trick with his defensive katas, Fei can perform Obliteration with stalled Wakatsuki for all of 3 seconds. Since Falcon is not as durable as Wakatsuki, Fei will obliterate the weeb. Fei Wangfang wins. Toei Mudo's power is very consistent. However, if a fighter is able to direct a sufficient amount of power past Toei Mudo's techniques and onto his vitals, they can take him out guaranteed. In this matchup, Fei Wangfang is capable of landing shots onto Toei's vitals with Nico-style techniques, especially the tricky ones like Flash Fire, but he doesn't have enough power to take Toei out of commission. However, using Divine Demon, Fei Wangfang can surpass Toei's technique through enhanced speed and reflexes, while generating enough power to take him out. Therefore, Divine Demon is a massive middle finger to New Zealand's national treasure of musculature. Fei Wangfang wins. This is laughable. In this matchup, Fei is free to do whatever he wants because Yumigahama is very susceptible to grappling and soft technique. Therefore, Fei's Nico style is perfect against Yumigahama because he is uniquely gifted at the water kata and possesses significant skill at the redirection. Therefore, Fei Wangfang will deflect Yumigahama's strikes and choke him out with his superior grappling skill. Fei Wangfang wins. In this matchup, Fei Wangfang can easily overcome the Eye of the Sky by using Flash Fire. Although Nidon can neutralize most of Fei's striking with his cuts, Nidon is still susceptible to redirection techniques like Weeping Willow and isn't known for his ground grappling. Therefore, the versatility of the Nico style will be enough to overcome the Hawk of Ordos via a submission. Fei Wangfang wins. In this matchup, Lu Tian, with his formless, can quite easily overcome Fei's Nico style. On a technical basis, Fei does not possess any formless techniques. Therefore, unlike his contemporaries, Fei will face more trouble with the Formless. Furthermore, Fei doesn't have the speed necessary to overcome it. Although Fei is fast enough to overwhelm the likes of Wakatsuki, Wakatsuki himself boasts dubious levels of speed and even suffered a loss against a less masterful Formless practitioner. So in base, Fei Wangfang, even with techniques like flashing steel and raging fire, shouldn't be able to seal Lu Tian's Formless. However, like always, Fei can use Divine Demon. Although a proper scale cannot be constructed, Fei becomes very fast, probably sufficient enough to find an opening in Lu Tian's Formless. Although Lu Tian himself also has a transformation ability in Guhan, it pales in comparison to Fei's Divine Demon. Therefore, in a match that would be very interesting to see, Divine Demon is a massive middle finger to the Centipede. Fei Wangfang wins. In this matchup, Alan is utterly outclassed. While using his Guhan, Alan was unable to harm Rayan in any meaningful manner, whereas Fei was capable of stalling Wakatsuki with his Ironbreaker techniques. Clearly, Fei possesses superior power to Alan. Furthermore, Fei is a vastly superior grappler, has more skillful footwork, and possesses redirection techniques. Therefore, Fei Wangfang doesn't need to rely upon his divinity to slay the King of Slaughter. Fei Wangfang wins. In this matchup, Jiroda's swing and his passivity will enable him to overcome the Nico style. The swing can counter Fei's defensive technique because the tremendous level of skill at redirection required for swing surpasses Fei's skill, and the technique itself possesses zero lag, making it difficult to determine the right timing in which to use the water kata. Furthermore, Jiroda's passivity will also come in handy against the flame kata because Jiroda will only react after his opponent moves, making a tricky technique like flash fire wordless. Although Fei's striking is very impressive, being faster than Wakatsuki is no benchmark to determine if his strikes are effective against Jiroda. After all, Jiroda himself was far too gentle with Hayami, and his opponent was getting faster every time he was throwing. Therefore, the Nico style is futile against Jiroda. However, Fei's technical limitation can be overcome with Divine Demon. Although a proper skill cannot be constructed, Fei's substantially improved speed and reflexes would surely enable him to overcome Jiroda's swing. Therefore, Divine Demon is a massive middle finger to the Judo Master. Fei Wangfang wins. In this matchup, the techniques within the Nico style are uniquely capable of overcoming Nicholas's Sahat. For example, if Fei Wangfang loses control over one of his arms, he can still perform a sufficient enough submission with Water Mirror. Although Nicholas boasts some impressive reflexes, the Flame Kata would be very efficient because it makes it harder to perceive the opponent's next move, so it would be trivially easy for Fei to perform a submission against Nicholas. Therefore, Fei has the techniques necessary to overcome Sahat. Fei Wangfang wins. In this matchup, Leo's skill at striking can easily be overcome by Fei's defensive technique. So, the only way for Leo to overcome it is to use Fajin. However, Fajin is far too predictable, and Fei can easily redirect it or dodge it with the Flame Kata. Therefore, Lu Dongqing is basically outclassed. Fei Wangfang wins. In this matchup, Fei can easily overcome the Emperor's Eye by using Flash Fire. Therefore, Fei can launch as many headshots as he wants. Fei Wangfang wins. Although this might be a little premature, there is enough information to determine a victor. In this matchup, Roland can overcome the Nico style with his Sealot and Pre-Initiative. Considering that Roland tied with Kuroki, their Pre-Initiative must be equivalent. Therefore, the only person in the world that can overcome their level for even a moment through sheer speed alone is Mikazuchi Rei. So, Fei Wangfang in base form with Flashing Steel and Raging Fire doesn't stand a chance. However, with Divine Demon, he would certainly stand more of a chance, right? Wrong. Divine Demon Fei is not faster than Mikazuchi. Furthermore, considering Sealot's heavy use of elbows, it would only be a matter of time before Fei sustains a deep cut that disrupts his divinity. Therefore, Roland can very much protect his throne from usurpers. Fei Wangfang suffers his first loss. Time for the Kengen Association. Considering Fei Wangfang's dominant run through Purgatory, he will be facing opponents who made it to the semi-finals of the Annihilation Tournament. But first, a few honorable mentions. If Fei Wangfang was caught in a match with Hanafusa, the Kengen Association was able to dismantle the Worm Secret Organization and ultimately eliminate the last Tokita Nico. In order to finish off the few remaining stranglers, Hanafusa accepted a deal to assassinate Fei Wangfang. Why would the Kengen Association reach out to Hanafusa when they have fighters capable of taking him out? I don't know, but this arrangement seems a little overkill. Julius's power is very consistent. However, if a fighter is able to direct a sufficient amount of power past Julius's musculature and onto his vitals, they can take him out guaranteed. In this matchup, Fei Wangfang is capable of landing shots onto Julius's vitals with Nico-style techniques. But he doesn't have enough power to take Julius out of commission. However, using Divine Demon, Fei can land shots on Julius's vitals through enhanced speed and reflexes, all the while generating enough power to take him out. Therefore, Divine Demon is a massive middle finger to Kengen's Martyr of Muscles. Fei Wangfang wins. In this matchup, Rain can surpass Fei's Nico style through his reflexes and his clan's techniques. Rain's reflexes were able to stop Mikazuchi's Lightning Flash, showcasing speed that Fei cannot contest unless he begins transforming. Furthermore, Rain possesses textbook vital strikes that enable him to transmit his power more efficiently, enabling Rain to permeate his power regardless of the water kata. So, Fei Wangfang in his base form better get transforming, otherwise Rain will straight up blitz him. However, Divine Demon is more than enough to combat Rain's physical might. Divine Demon provides a much greater degree of power and reflexes than Oma's advance, and by extension, Rain's removal. Therefore, even if Rain were to use removal, Fei would possess an overwhelming advantage. Therefore, Fei Wangfang is one of the few characters in the story who can physically dominate Kuri Rain. Fei Wangfang wins. Now to the real Kengen matchups. In this matchup, Oma can overcome Fei's Nico style through pre-initiative and Demon's Bane. Oma's pre-initiative is of lower quality than Roland's, therefore it would require less speed to overcome it. But, in the grand scheme, Fei's regular speed is very negligible, and outmaneuvering Wakatsuki is not a benchmark against a healthier Oma. Furthermore, Oma has a formless technique whereas Fei does not. Since Fei doesn't possess a great amount of speed nor an equally formless technique, Fei's Nico style is not equipped to handle the traditional Nico style. However, Divine Demon would probably eliminate Oma's pre-initiative. Considering how Oma's pre-initiative is worse than Roland's, Fei probably has the potential of surpassing it. Nevertheless, despite his gains in speed and reflexes, Fei would still fall to Demon's Bane. Since Demon's Bane is primarily a counter, speed will not play a major role because Oma will only use this technique after his opponent has made his move. Furthermore, formlessness will disrupt Fei's reflexes because Oma's form becomes harder to perceive. Therefore, Oma will use Demon's Bane for its intended purpose. Fei Wangfang loses. This match has sparked a lot of controversy. However, both Fei and Wakatsuki aren't given nearly as much credit. Wakatsuki was capable of striking a tenuous balance against Fei's Nico style due to his strength and his clinching technique. Although Wakatsuki admits that he wasn't able to seal the Nico style due to difference in timing, that issue can be resolved through Wakatsuki's endurance, which would provide him many opportunities to adapt. If you're questioning Wakatsuki's adaptation, please reread his fight with Muteba, where he adapted to seeing out of one eye and even changed his strategy mid-fight to counter his opponent. So, if Fei continued to rely upon his Nico style, he would have inevitably lost. Therefore, using Divine Demon is the only course of action that Fei could have taken. The increased power, speed, and reflexes expanded the gap between the two, enabling Fei to end the match a lot quicker. It's a rational decision that Fei would come to regardless of Wakatsuki's provocation. Furthermore, if Fei wasn't restricted by ulterior motives and the purgatory setting, Wakatsuki would have been knocked out a lot sooner. Therefore, this is an uncompromising victory for the Tiger wannabe. Fei Wangfang wins. In this matchup, Kuroki can overcome Fei's Nico style through pre-initiative and the Kaiwan style. The only opponent to have surpassed Kuroki's expectations with sheer speed alone is Mikazuchi. So, Fei Wangfang in base form with Flashing Steel and Raging Fire doesn't stand much of a chance. Even in Divine Demon, Fei would still not possess that level of speed. Furthermore, considering Kuroki's Devil Lance, it would only be a matter of time before Fei gets stabbed and loses his divinity. Therefore, Castle Kuroki can easily defend himself against an army of demons. Fei Wangfang loses. In this matchup, Agito can overcome Fei's Nico style with his pre-initiative and his formless style. Agito's pre-initiative was sufficient enough to compete somewhat equally against Kuroki, meaning the only person in the world who can surpass their level with sheer speed alone is Mikazuchi. Therefore, Fei Wangfang with Flashing Steel and Raging Fire doesn't stand a chance. Furthermore, the close-range fudge and quality of Dragon Shot can quite easily overcome Fei's defensive technique. If you need even more proof, Agito can always return to his formless roots. Therefore, Agito can absolutely seal Fei's Nico style. However, Divine Demon would enable Fei to overcome Agito's synergy. Considering how Lutien for a moment was able to overcome Agito's synergy, Divine Demon would certainly be able to do the same. However, Agito is capable of enduring strikes from Guhan Lutien, and is proficient at the Adamantine Kata. Therefore, Agito is more than capable of enduring a few blows, even if it causes a lot of damage. Furthermore, Agito can evolve in response to Divine Demon, and re-evaluate the exact intervals to switch. Therefore, the 5th Fang of Mitsudo would adapt to Fei's Divine Demon, and secure victory. Fei Wangfang loses. Fei Wangfang is more than entitled to the majesty of a tiger. Fei's Nico style is sufficient enough to eliminate the riffraff, and his divinity provides him a pedestal among the most legendary characters in the series. Nevertheless, there lies a significant technical gap between himself and his competition. Although there remains no room for growth, this technical gap can be bridged through one simple fix. The improvement section is primarily reserved for fighters who are absolutely pathetic and require more in-depth improvements that are somewhat logical and a little imaginative. However, considering Fei Wangfang's Nico style and the technical gap that he must overcome, he should learn Demon's Bane. Demon's Bane is a counter which incorporates all 4 katas of the Nico style. It is initiated by redirecting an opponent's power, becoming like water to allow the power to flow through the user while checking footwork, and then delivering the power back to the opponent. Due to the use of multiple katas, Demon's Bane has no distinct form and is classified as a formless technique. Therefore, Demon's Bane is very effective against pre-initiative, and is able to compete against Formless. Although this improvement is asking quite a bit, Fei's defensive technique, which incorporates the redirection and water katas, already fulfill the first 2 steps for Demon's Bane. Therefore, it would be very rudimentary for Fei to check his footwork and then throw an Iron Breaker. This technique would single-handedly resolve Fei's weakness to pre-initiative and enable him to fight on even ground against Formless practitioners. It would also resolve Fei's dependence on Divine Demon, enabling Fei to have more self-life. But as it stands, the Toad has yet to claim his true majesty. Wait, let me just rephrase that real quick. In Purgatory, there was a man they called the Toad. That man has just entered a long slumber. Thanks for watching.